Before we get started on the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell right here so you can get all my future notifications. Now, if I should get on your nerves, you can always unsubscribe. Today I'm going to take and put a distressed look on my windows here. I made these windows a while back and I wasn't sure exactly what color I wanted to go with. I put this gray stain with a little bit of white in it, and I don't like the way it looks with everything else. So I redid these to make them look distressed, and I like this look. That's what I'm going to put on this frame and this, because the lighter color is going to make my colors here pop, come out a lot more. And it's also going to give this a good look. I want this to look aged, and that's what I have right there as an aged look. So I'm going to pop these pins out real quick. Close this up so it doesn't fall when I pop the hinge out. I have a little magnet in there that holds the window closed. So we'll take this one out first. Unfortunately, it's raining outside. I'm in Louisiana, so you never know when the rain pops up. So I had to move everything in my garage. I'm using my Renaissance chalk paint for this. You don't have to use chalk paint. You can use any type of water-based paint for this. I prefer flat paint when I'm working with stuff like this, and you'll see why. It just makes it easier. This is just regular Elmer's glue, glue all. You can use any type of white school glue. I paid $1 for this at Dollar Tree, and this is all you need to get the technique we want. Let's go ahead and get the glue on here. I took the top and I cut it with a razor blade, just so I can let more glue out at a time. I don't want to have to sit here fighting with this and squeezing it. So we're going to put the glue all the way around. What I want to do is get an old antique look on here. So by doing that, you want this going different ways. You don't want to just brush it one way. You want this to go in a cross pattern. Now I'm going to take my paint and just brush it on. Don't go crazy with it. You don't want to rub too much back and forth, and rub that glue all in, because what you'll do is you'll lose the effect. It'll still dry right, but you'll lose the effect. Kind of keep it to where you're just brushing it on, kind of heavy, letting it coat. And this paint is real smooth, easy to work with, this chalk paint by Renaissance. I like this stuff a lot. You see how easy it is to do this? Doesn't look good right now, but watch. In just a few minutes, you'll see a huge difference in this. I'm leaving it heavy on here, so when I put it on, I don't have to keep brushing back and forth to get the coverage. Funny how you used to be able to buy these windows for nothing. Once they became popular, it's hard to find them. That's why I made this one. Well, I had to make this one to match that glass, to match my my window anyway. But it was hard to find some. I tried to go looking around. Craigslist or things like that, you might be able to find them, but when things become popular and vintage, so they say, it gets overpriced. You don't need hot air. You can either do cool or medium, and that's fine. Don't put real hot air on it. You don't want to burn it. But you can put it all the way up on the fan and then just put it up to medium on here, so you can hold your hand on there and it won't burn it. And don't stay in one spot if it gets too hot. When you make it heavy, it's going to have large cracks. Where you go light, like this, it's going to leave light cracks. So I'll put a little bit more here. You got to get this while it's still wet. As soon as I put this on, I'm going to come back over with my paint, because this is glue. They have different ways of doing it. In this way, you need to hit it while it's wet. When you put your paint on, you don't want to keep rubbing it in. You just want to kind of hit it heavy Let it get on there. Don't rub it back and forth in there because you're gonna mess it up and blend it into the glue where it won't crackle. I'm using a white paint. This is my chalk paint. And then I'll brush into my board because I'm going to touch it up in here after anyway. And I want to be able to blend it. I want to cover everything. I want this to look white with some crackle in it. I don't want to have it looking gray. I can have the crackles going to start coming out in it real quick. You don't want to play with it once you do that. That's it. And I'm going to go further back over here. That way when I do my other parts, I'm fine. I can just blend it in. It's easy. See, this right here is where I just brush it. I'll be able to brush right into that. By the way, I got permission from my wife to use this. All right, let's go ahead and hit this. I'm going to let some of this just be normal. And I'm going to blend it into a little bit of a heavier part right here. And it'll go into some, I'll smear it to where you have light crackle and it'll go into a little bit of a heavier stuff. I'm going to put it a little bit heavy right here. There you go. Just kind of blend it in. All right, I want to kind of, see, I kind of messed that up a little bit. Went too far. Have to be very careful. I'm going to leave that alone and touch it up later. You mess up right there, you just come back over later and I'll brush it with some glue and then some paint. Get some crackle in there after it dries. That was careless of me. On this spot, I just dropped a couple of drops of glue right on it. And I'm just going to lightly hit it and just blend it in. Just a little bit. And we'll hit the dryer on it. And let it separate. You see, I have the crackle look, but I want to get a distressed look along with that. I'm using 180 grit sandpaper, so it's not aggressive. I just want to knock things down a little bit. When you're finished painting this, before you put your glass in, you may want to spray it with this pre-catalyzed lacquer or this other lacquer. Lacquer finishes are fantastic. They're real durable, and what they do is they go on evenly. The first coat you can spray on, 5 minutes later you can put another coat on there. This one's Mohawk. It's a pre-catalyzed lacquer. It makes it a little bit harder than this one, but they're both very durable. They go on real even, real smooth. It's easy to spray this on there, and you won't have any problems once you spray it on there. You won't see the variances in spray. That's why I recommend these two products. I purchased this at Home Depot, and I purchased this through a local paint store, but both of them can be bought on Amazon, and I'll have a link in the description box if you're interested in getting it that way. Now, we're going to go into this. Right here, if you have any imperfections that were messed up, like say I had a drip or something that pulled, you sand it out, you smooth it. This feels perfectly smooth, but it looks textured, which is really what I wanted. And I went down into, all the way down to the wood in some spots to make it look like it was distressed. You can take and layer different colors on there if you want, so it looks like several decades have gone by and different paints have been on there. I'll have that technique in a little later video, but this looks really good. I'm ready to throw it up there. I'm real pleased with this. I hope you guys like it. Drop a comment on me and let me know what you think. I'll see you guys on the next project. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you don't mind, hit like for me.